Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Elson, and here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. Pope Francis may not have been at Argentina's shrine of Saint Cajetan for the August 7th feast day for the saint, but he did make a digital appearance beginning at midnight on the feast day of Argentina's patron saint of bread and work. A recorded video message from Pope Francis was played over and over on big screens at the entrance to the shrine and was being broadcast throughout the day on the television station of the Archdiocese of Buenos Aires. The theme for this year's feast day celebration and the August 1st through the 9th prayer novena in Buenos Aires was "With Jesus and Saint Cajetan, let us go out to encounter the most needy." Pope Francis said not to go out and convince those worse off to convert, but rather go out and meet them as brothers and sisters. The Pope said Jesus will do the rest. More news now from the Vatican. Though he has gone against tradition by staying in Rome for the summer rather than vacationing in Castel Gandolfo, Pope Francis will make a visit to the papal villa there next week to celebrate the Feast of the Assumption. Catholic News Service has more.
Rome in August is hot. It's the Italian vacation month, and the city is left mainly to tourists. Past popes usually joined the exodus, preferring the cooler climes and beautiful views of Castel Gandolfo, a small hill town outside the capital. But Pope Francis has remained at the Vatican. With a slightly reduced schedule, he's working through the summer heat at his residence at the Dom Santa Marta. However, he will keep the papal tradition of celebrating the Feast of the Assumption of Mary at Castel Gandolfo. The feast day mass is scheduled for the morning in the town square outside the papal villa. Then at noon, he will lead visitors in reciting the Angelus, a Marian prayer.
Back to the Vatican now. Pope Francis has expanded the role and the reach of the Vatican's Financial Intelligence Authority, the FIA. Less than a month after he updated the Vatican's criminal code, Pope Francis issued new rules August 8th, broadening Vatican city finance laws to cover all of the offices of the Roman Curia. The rules also apply to the nonprofit organizations operating out of the Vatican. Vatican spokesman Father Federico Lombardi said the FIA now will evaluate and approve the financial activities and the services offered by the Vatican Bank and the administration of the Patrimony of the Holy See, the office that handles Vatican property and investments. Many of the changes instituted over the last year were specific recommendations made by Moneyval, the Council of Europe's Committee of Experts on the evaluation of anti-money laundering measures and the financing of terrorism. In news now from Rome, though things are slow in Rome, as we mentioned in August, the Pontifical Council for Social Communications stays open, and with Pope Francis's decision to stay in Rome for the summer, they have plenty of news to cover. Rome Reports spoke with the secretary for the council about the office.
During the month of August, Rome virtually shuts down. Offices close their doors and people head out on vacation. But this team from the Pontifical Council for Social Communications knows the news never stops. And jokingly, they say Pope Francis doesn't stop either.
This is a man who has hit the ground running, and it's clear that he will be around here for August. And that keeps us all busy in the best possible way.
Working in August is a rarity in Rome, but here a team of about 5 people keep one of the Vatican's main websites up to date. The Vatican has its own newspaper, and it also has their radio station, and yet another team works at its television center. And all the content comes together here at news.va.
It's all gathered into kind of like a mixing pot. And then they choose which stories are the priorities within those and present them, bring them to news.va.
Even in Rome's scorching heat, this will be one of the few Vatican offices that keeps its doors completely open. And that includes its doors into the digital world.
Looking now at news from around the country, the number of permanent deacons is continuing to grow. However, those ordained to the permanent diaconate are steadily reaching the age of retirement, according to a recent study by the Center for Applied Research in the Apostolate. The U.S. boasts more than 18,000 permanent deacons, more than 15,000 of which are active in ministry. More than 2/3 of active deacons are at least in their 60s, with 25% of all deacons at least 70. 13% of U.S. dioceses have a mandatory retirement age of 70 for deacons. 80% mandate retirement at age 75. Archbishop Robert Carlson of St. Louis, chairman of the U.S. Bishops' Committee on Clergy, Consecrated Life, and Vocations, said that the statistics are encouraging, but with the number of deacons that will soon reach retirement age, bishops must recruit a greater number of men to join the permanent diaconate. Of the 195 U.S. dioceses and eparchies, only 2 have no permanent deacons. And finally in the news, former Catholic Relief Services President Ken Hackett has been confirmed by the U.S. Senate as the country's new ambassador to the Holy See. Nominated on June 14th by President Obama, Hackett began working for CRS in 1972 and was its president for 18 years. He'll take over from Miguel Diaz, who resigned in November on 2012 to become a professor at the University of Dayton in Ohio. Hackett expects to move to Rome later this month. Well, that is all the information we have for you at this time. I'm Kevin Nelson, and don't forget you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.